Thank you very much, James, and welcome back, everybody. The Minister said to me yesterday afternoon, could I help him at the conference today? I thought he wanted somebody to carry his bags, and yet here I am. This morning, I'm going to provide you with a brief overview of the island's connectivity ambitions in relation to air and sea services, with more operational updates to be provided by the airport and steam packet shortly. But to begin, I want to reiterate that this government knows full well that connectivity is of strategic national importance to us all. It's not only our lifeline from a freight perspective, but it's also an essential part of everyday life for both residents and our visitor proposition. This is evident in the split we can see between residents and visitors using our travel services. They sit at roughly 50-50, showing it's strategically important to both. Looking at the data of departing passengers, we can see that our sea and air links remain stable with steady growth in air over the years between 2014 and 2019. At that point, the COVID pandemic hit, of course, and completely disrupted the travel industry due to border controls, something which had a global impact, not just for the island. 2023 then marked the first full year of no border controls. And since then, we can see that our sea passenger levels have recovered and in fact exceeded the figures reached in 2019. Our air passenger figures haven't yet returned to the 2019 levels. Many of you will be aware that government has subvented a number of areas across our air routes in order to secure connectivity in the medium term. I'll hand over to Minister Johnson shortly, who will discuss more around our strategic approach to maintaining our air links. And I won't shy away from the fact that we've experienced challenges. There's been a major shortage in air traffic control officers, not just locally, but also globally. This has had a significant impact on the summer flight schedule in 2023, as we were required to impose temporary ATC closures. We're all aware of them, I'm sure. In regards to sea, we had silting issues at Heysham and also staffing challenges which affected regular sailings towards the end of last year. And of course, being an island, we're often disrupted by poor weather. Looking at air travel, I'm aware that there's been a recent increase in local media coverage around this, so I want to take the opportunity to just highlight that many of these issues are not just impacting the Isle of Man. We can see them across the UK, the Channel Islands, and in fact even further globally. But there are areas where we're seeing improvements. The airport's recorded a 55% decrease in air cancellations so far in 2024 when compared to the same period in 2023. It's also seen a 5% improvement in on-time performance so far this year when compared to the same period in 2023, which, whilst it may seem a small figure, in context of the fact that the majority of delays at the Isle of Man airport are due to late inbound aircraft, which is out of our control, it shows that we are moving what is in our control in the right direction. In 2023, and indeed for the years before then, we've struggled with the evening Gatwick flight's performance, and this year we worked hard with EasyJet to secure a slot 1 hour earlier, which has had a material improvement on the performance and reliability of this flight. But it's still very much a work in progress. I know that ATC closures have been a frustration for many, but as I said before, they are something that other airports around the UK have struggled with. For the Isle of Man, it's encouraging that we now have a plan in place, which Gary Cobb will discuss shortly. It will take time to see the results of this come to fruition, so it's about short-term pain for long-term gain, I'm afraid. Turning to sea, we opened the Liverpool terminal, a major infrastructure project, and it's good to see it's in use for travellers to the island. I used it recently and it's a great facility. Yes, it costs too much, that's the elephant in the room, but it's a great asset for the island. And finally, the on-time performance of the Manxman, which means any sailings which arrive or depart within an hour of their scheduled time, has remained high. In April of this year, the Island Plan called out our commitment to securing the reliability of our air and sea services and signalled it as a core area for action in 2024-25. This extended to tangible actions, including, as mentioned before, the opening of the Isle of Man ferry terminal in Liverpool. The Liverpool ferry terminal welcomed its first passengers in June, and watching passengers using the terminal for the first time was great to witness. What's been created is a bright, modern, fit-for-purpose facility which will ensure our travelling public will continue to be delivered into the heart of Liverpool, a city with such strong historic connections to the island for many generations to come. This project has seen its share of challenges, but to have it finally completed and operational marks a significant moment in our maritime history. And alongside the Manxman, it signals a significant investment into our connectivity infrastructure, which has been made in recent years. Looking at strategy for the Island Sea Services, cast your minds back to 2018 when government made the strategic decision to purchase the steam packet in order to provide the island with long-term stability of lifeline ferry operations. This was because we recognised that robust sea links are absolutely essential to the economic and social well-being of the Isle of Man. Following the purchase, government made a commitment to review the Sea Services Agreement, with the Tynwald Select Committee currently undertaking this. I understand all departments have now fed into the committee and look forward to seeing their report come forward. Finally, looking at the airport, I recognise that there have been challenges in recent years. However, we fully understand that we must improve our facilities to ensure a good experience for customers, but it will take money, and money is tight. Over the past 2 years, we've been taking steps to improve the airport and service provision, and Gary Cobb will go into more detail about this shortly. But we recognise we need to further invest in infrastructure to meet customer demands into staff, equipment and the airport building more broadly. And I confirm that we stand ready to commit to investments into our airport in the near future. Aside from this, ensuring that we're providing the right strategic links to meet the needs of passengers remains a priority, and Minister Johnson will now take you through how the Department of Enterprise is progressing with our strategic air services. Thank you.